Hello art friends, I have a paint along video for you. And here is a quick image of what we will be painting. And this is a desert sunset with the Tardis and a couple cactus. But that's all up to you and what you want to put in your beautiful sunset background. Alright, so things you will need for this painting. Acrylic paint is what I'm going to be using. You can use standard acrylic, you can use craft acrylic, rewind. Of course, you can use craft acrylic if you choose. The drying time is slightly different for each because heavy body does take a little bit longer to dry. And you can always use the assistance of a hairdryer or a fan to speed up your dry times. We are going to be using a 1.5 inch flat bristle brush for our background, a flat number 8, and that one is going to be for our silhouette. I also have a few smaller liner brushes for fine details, and I also have an acrylic round in 8, and that one has stiffer bristles. And the next one would be a 0 or a 1. Whatever you have on hand is going to work good. Of course, acrylic paint, you're going to need a cup to wash out your brushes, paper towel or a paint rag to keep your brushes dry and clean, and a palette. And any non-porous surface will work for this. You can use paper plate, actual plate, pane of glass, piece of plastic, anything that you have on hand that you can make it work for you. I say use it. And of course, you're going to need something to paint on, and your canvas type is up to you. You can use a piece of cardboard, you can use a flat panel canvas, a stretched canvas, piece of wood, anything that you want this painting to be on. That is up to you. For the purpose of this video, I'm going to use an 8x10 flat panel canvas, and here are the colors that I'm using. You do not have to use the same exact colors. You can use any shades or any range of colors that you feel you want in your sunset. These are ones that I had on hand, and as you can see, they're not even the same brand. Some of these are different brands, but they all have the same consistency. They're all a heavy body acrylic. This will help with blending and dry time. And you can see that I've already kind of sketched out lightly on the canvas a few horizontal lines. And this is kind of where I want my gradients to be for the sunset. And I also penciled in a little Tardis and some cactus, just to give an idea of where I might want to put them. You can skip this process and do it once you have your background painted in. It's up to you. So I'm just going in on that second bar because I know I want 2 sections that are blue. I want a dark blue at the very top, and I want a lighter blue going towards the bottom. So I'm just going to go in and smear that all over right now. And my brush is just slightly too damp. I'm going to add some more. And the main thing with the sunsets is the top of your page is going to be darker. That's where the night sky is coming in, and as you get lower down on your painting, you want to be brighter in color. That's where you want all your yellows and reds and all those beautiful sunset colors to be, because they're going to be setting low as the night sky comes in above. So I've got my first go of blue on there. I'm going to wash my brushes and going to get my next color set up. I'm going to mix a little bit of a peach color here because I do want that in my sunset. Take this time if you want to mix a few of your colors. If you want a brighter red or darker red, now's the time to do that. And I want to add a little bit of orange in there to make this more of a peach. Of course, if you want some purple in there, you can go ahead and mix some of that up. I found over my time watching Doctor Who, there are quite a few desert scenes, and I don't know, that always resonated nicely with me. On my list of places to visit is Truth or Consequence, New Mexico. So hopefully I get to make it out there. It would be my first time ever seeing a desert in person. All right, so I have my peach mixed up. I'm just gonna wash my brush off. I've also mixed up some purple, which might be a little too dark. Add a little white in there. Just want a little bit lighter of a purple. You can always load up your palette right from the beginning with all the colors that you're going to need. I find that this helps kind of kill some of that dry time, because you do want that first layer to get a little dry. Alright, so now that I have my purple loaded up, I'm just going to go in a back and forth motion, just left to right, with just a little bit of paint on there, and blend them together. I'm not too concerned with the very top just yet, because I'm going to go in and darken that up once it's dried just a little bit more. And keep in mind, the more paint that you use on your brush, the heavier it's going to come out on your panel. No matter what your canvas is that you're using, it's going to come out heavier. It's going to take a little bit longer to dry, but when you mix other colors into it, it's also going to affect how the colors interact. So I'm going to leave a little bit of a gap and go down almost halfway to the bottom and go ahead and put in my light colors. Because below this, I'm going to want it to be even lighter, but I want to work my way back up. So now that I have the yellow down, I'm going to blend in a little bit of orange. I'm going to bring in my peach and blend that in. And just up and down. So blend those colors in nicely. And you can see I have not worked too far back down. I don't want the purples mixing in with the oranges. So you just gotta stop. And now that I'm seeing this all laid out, I think I need a little more red in here. Of course, your sunset, your choice. Whatever colors you want to put in there. If you want more red, more purple, all up to you. I'm just showing you the method. The rest is your madness. So I'm going to go in and add just a touch more of the red. Maybe in here where my orange and my yellow are. And then I'm going to blend up a little bit of yellow with that touch of red that was still left on my brush, and a whole lot of white. And this is going to be my bottom color. This is the last color before the land. And again, just light left to right, right to left. You're just brushing back and forth across the entire painting. And if you want some clouds in your sunset, feel free to let it dry for a few minutes and go on top and add in some wispy white clouds if you want. Just gonna go in with a touch more yellow and blend it in. And with that touch of yellow, it's going to darken up my blue just ever so lightly. Now that it's dried a little bit, this will be easier to work with. And of course, to get the blue even darker, you can add just a touch of Payne's gray or black. I don't want mine to be too incredibly dark. All right. So I guess now we can start on our land on the bottom. For this, you can use just straight black. You could use brown, whatever color you want your land area to be. I'm going to mix up kind of a greenish black with just yellow and black with a touch of blue in there. So I'm pulling out the LIQUITEX Black Mars Black, and we're going to blend up a little bit of dirt. So I want to hear from you guys. What is your favorite season of Doctor Who? Who's your favorite doctor? Who's your favorite companion? Any guesses as to who the new doctor will be? I'm excited to find out all these answers. I think my favorite companion so far has been the pawns. They definitely had a longer stretch than most, and I don't think that it was overextended. I thought it was an enjoyable amount of time. He did have a few other companions that popped in and out while the pawns were companions as well, which I thought was really cool. I'm quite hopeful that this new season lends a little more versatility, that we have a few more companions popping in and out. Bill seems like a very fun companion, and I'm very excited to experience her. But I do want to see him expand out. I mean, we're going to be moving into a new doctor soon, and maybe a whole new momentum for the show, which could be fun and exciting. I'm hopeful that we'll have more alien content and more traveling to far off distant lands. Those have always been some of my favorite episodes, have been the ones where we visited different alien worlds and different universes. It's always been very cool. And Miss Astrid says that her favorites were all Bad Wolf episodes. You heard that. She was quite vocal about it. Oh, yes. And the cat people, they were your favorite. Yes, the nuns. All right, so to save a little bit of time, I've pulled out the hair dryer, and we're going to go ahead and give this a once over to get it a little more dry. Of course, if you don't feel like using a hairdryer or a fan, you can just leave it, pause the video, go and do whatever you need to do until this dries. So if the doctor somehow fixes the chameleon circuit, what do you think the Tardis should look like? Maybe you could draw that silhouette in this next part of the video. Or if you like the way the Tardis looks, if you love the classic call box, then maybe stick with that. Alright, so I've loaded my palette up with some more black, and I have a touch of blue in here. I'm going to go back over my land area real quick, and I'm using the round acrylic brush. This is the 6. And we're just going to darken it up and keep it smooth like your skyline, or you can rough it up. It's your land. You do what you want. Stop being turds. Stop. You saw in the beginning I lightly drew mine in, and of course you can see it slightly underneath the paint. That was just my guide. Now that you have your background dried, and you can go in and draw that in before you start painting. Alright, so with the tip of our rounded brush, we're going to use that to make a long tubular motion all the way to the bottom. And your cactus can have as many or as little arms as you want it to have. So just go ahead wherever you want and place in the arms of your cactus. You're going to use the same motion. Holding the brush vertically, make the brush work for you. And just press down lightly and swipe towards the inside of the first stroke that we put down. And of course, if you want to do it now, or if you want to go back in once it's dry, you can add little tiny strokes coming off of the edges so you could see the silhouette of the needles on the cactus. Go ahead and use that flat acrylic brush. Again, make the brush work for you. You can use the edge and slight wiggling motions all the way up to give you a nice straight line, and pull the paint from that line inward. And just reload the brush as much as you need to. Of course, you can touch up the edges now, or you can go back in at the end with a small liner brush or a Sharpie marker or a fine tip paint marker to get nice crisp edges. I'm going to do my best to make this a one swipe operation here, where we just bring the brush to the edge and slight wiggling motion to make a nice sharp line, and then just fill it in from there. And I'm going to put a little ledge on the bottom of my Tardis here because my land dipped down right there. Depending on how you did your land will reflect whether or not you want to put a ledge on it or not. Alright, I'm going to load my brush back up, and we're going to go in and do the top section of the Tardis, which is going to be another rectangle shape. So just lay the brush down flat and then draw the brush down towards the base of the Tardis. And of course we want to blend it all in so it's a nice smooth section of black. So you just work the brush until it looks nice and smooth. Of course, my overhead lighting in here makes it look like it's two different tones of black there. But in person, it definitely looks the same. Alright, so I'm going to get this small, round, stiff bristled acrylic brush. And I'm just going to draw in the light at the top of the Tardis. You can also wait till the end to do that with a marker or a paint marker if you choose. I'm going to use that same brush because I want this cactus just to be a little bit skinnier. And just make it work for you, just up and down. Lift my brush back up. And again, with the cactus, you can do as many or as few as you want. If you just want one, you want 10, squeeze them in there. You can do as many as you want. And you can give it as many arms as you want. If you just want it to have one, that's cool. It just gets one. That's it, just one tiny little arm. If you want it to have two, boom, second one, there you go. Do as many as you like. And of course, I want to see what you guys come up with. So feel free, when you're finished, to tag me with your pictures on any of my social media that you follow. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. All the info for that is down below in the information section of the video. I think this guy's gonna have 4. I'll just give him another little arm right up here. I also think I want to add a couple small cactus just down here in the bottom. Maybe some round ones. You can go back in at the very end and use a paint marker or a Sharpie marker if you feel more confident that way. You can put some little sprigs of grass maybe in there, or a little silhouette of an arm coming out of the Tardis. Maybe you didn't want your Tardis in the middle, you just wanted that sucker floating around in the sky. That's all up to you. But I definitely want to see what you guys came up with. Thank you so much. I hope this has been enjoyable. If you have any questions or any comments, please leave them down below. You can also contact me through any of my social media if you have questions. I'm more than happy to answer them. Thank you all for watching. Subscribe for weekly videos. And if you found this helpful and enjoyable, share it with others.